most intense, thrilling, electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
Technical.
Jeez, we are starting off with a freaking bang right now, aren't we? Now you should be able to hear me. Now you should be able to hear me, Andrew. I'm just going to start this whole thing over right now. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up in the chat. All right. He can hear me. He can hear me. We are here. We are here.
Let's go. Great to see you, buddy. My bad, yo. My bad. You know
no, it was mine too. It was mine too.
A little turbulence. Never hurt nobody.
Yeah, man. A little turbulence, but hey, now we're in the sky and we're starting to fly. So, that being said, welcome back, fight fans, to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and with me, as always, is the co-host with the most, Jive Turkey Nano.
Let's go. Great to see you, my brother. Twinning today, per usual. You know, we got new gear. Got to represent my brother. It was so nice seeing you last week, man. Still riding the high of everything related to UFC International Fight Week. But today, boy, oh boy, a lot to cover. Hell of a card, and great to be here with all of y'all. Nance, we see you as well. Appreciate the let's call it the patience there and helping us work through some technical difficulties. But if that ain't a live show, I don't know what else is, baby. Let's go.
It's one of the best things about a live show is, you know, keeping you on the edge of your chair, right? Us included. So here we are. We are finally here. We are here to talk about UFC 317. So cheers to you folks. Cheers to that.
Salud.
It was a hell of a time. I actually had the pleasure of getting lucky enough to make it into the card, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to break down these fights. We're going to talk about that in tomorrow's episode when we have the entire International Fight Week crew with us, live, thriving, and jiving like the guy to my right. So, with that being said, we're here to talk about two things. Those two things are UFC 317 and our UFC Fantasy League that we run here off to the side. Basically, it's a draft your fighters style. Everybody picks a fighter from each weight class, including a flex position fighter from any weight class of their choosing. And then we run the season basically once every 6 months. The season just came to a close with International Fight Week, and boy, oh boy, did it come to a close with an absolute bang, my friend. I was on top. It felt really good up until it didn't. But I digress. I guess we'll go ahead and jump right on into how those scores ended up. So let me pull up the graphic here, and I think we actually might have the champ on standby who's ready to give some words. So here is the final score here. Let me take the banner off so you can see that little bottom part. So we had Drew with 857 points, Miss Mary with 493, myself with 864, just barely edging out over Drew. Suck it, Drew. We got Ninos with 913, obviously the fucking champ. And right up there in that top bracket, we had Chris. So 836 for Chris, 442 for Nano, and 435 for Leroy. Hiram had 716. I mean, we got to give the man his flowers, right, Nano? We got to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Ninos. He had incredible picks. I don't know if he's working right now, so I don't know if he's actually able to jump in, but I'm waiting for him to let me know. But Nano, like, can we just talk about our picks and kind of, if you could do things differently, what would you do differently this season?
Absolutely, my brother. It was a fun season. We've been doing this sport for a long time, and we're used to doing fantasy sports and other sports, fantasy, all of the above, fantasy football, baseball, basketball, you name it. So I was really excited and eager to jump in here with y'all and try something new, right? This was a learning out process, unlike other fantasies, though we do have scoring and we had to kind of get crafty with it. We didn't know, right? And to answer your question, what I might do different, I think instead of picking my favorite fighters, which was definitely what I went in there and did, my worst pick was probably my favorite pick in Israel Adesanya, but boy, did that age like sour milk. So I would definitely look at the youth of these fighters. If they have gone back, I mean, look no further than Chris with Joshua Van, and he had a real legitimate chance of winning everything. You want a young guy that is going to be active and is going to answer the bell. And hopefully,
the guy fought 3 times in one 6-month season. We've never seen that.
Yeah. Like, for perspective, most fighters on average probably fight twice a year, maybe 3. Kevin Holland and Khamzat became famous for fighting 4, maybe 5 times. This motherfucker's on 6 or 7. I mean, it's just unreal. It's unreal. He's special, and that was really UFC 317 in a nutshell. It was a special card, and this fantasy season even more special. Special crew, as you see there. Look at all those great faces. That Emiliano character, I think the light's too bright for him. But all jokes aside, yeah, man, I'm sticking to the youth, and I'm going with the young guns this next season. That I do know, because I can only go up from here at 442. Winner scored 913. Do the math. We suck again.
And with that being said, folks, I think we have the season 2 champion on the line right now. Ninos, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
We can. Let the people know. What are you doing after this big win? Are you going to Disneyland?
Oh, you know it. I'm going to Disneyland, maybe San Diego. We'll see.
Let's go.
Hey, there we go. Congrats, my brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, you absolutely crushed it, man. This was your first season joining, obviously only our second season, and I feel like you made us all look like amateurs, dude.
What an amazing season. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Definitely looking forward to do it again.
I mean,
absolutely, man.
Champion. I'm sure that's a good spot to be in. I'm sure you're eager as all of us. I'm curious, how long have you been following the sport for? Maybe tell the people, man, how, if you have any favorite fighters or how long you've been watching things. Hey, maybe you're new on the block and maybe a little bit beginner's luck, but tell the people know, man, how'd you feel and, what got you into UFC?
Yeah, to be honest with you, just, the last year or two. I've followed it as a casual fan, but since, the fantasy season started, definitely been more into it.
Nice.
So have some, favorite fighters, of course, a Syrian Lion, right? Won this past week. So, definitely with him, and then also Topuria got me the win, right?
Oof,
so,
that's a big one. Makes sense.
He was my first pick, and he sealed the deal for me.
Oh, man.
Your first person picked, your last one to fight, and the one that took you over the edge. Yep. And I mean, your best pick, hands down, was Nazim Sadikov. Like, when you picked Nazim at lightweight, did you know that he was going to be such a stud? He got you over 200 points.
To be honest, no. But hey, I'll take it any day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he was an absolute beast. I feel like there's a lot of names that went towards the end of the draft this last season that are going to go much quicker this season.
Absolutely.
And I'm still very surprised that Chris got Jasmine before I could. Very upset about that. And another person that scored over 200 points this last season.
Amazing.
So yeah,
stuff.
anything else you want to say? Anyone you want to talk trash to specifically, Ninos?
To be honest with you, Chris, I've been with him in, other fantasy leagues, football, basketball, you name it, right? At one point, he was the best, right? But everyone's time comes and goes, right? Just like Connor, right? He was good, no more. So I'm the new kid in the block, Ninos, just like Topuria, right? He's a champ, and I'm looking forward to season 2 and going for a repeat.
Mic drop. Sheesh. Nino's repping the new generation. Let's go.
All right, Ninos coming in bringing the heat, son.
That was a hell of a promo. I think you got a future in WWE, my man.
Thanks,
We will
guys.
definitely be clipping that. And thanks for coming on, Ninos. We appreciate you taking the time. I know you're in the middle of a busy day right now.
Thanks, guys.
It's not easy being the champ. He's in high demand, folks.
Great stuff, brother. We'll see you soon, man. I'm going to see you at the top, as Michael Chandler once said. Come on.
See you guys.
We'll see you at the top. Thanks, Ninos. We'll see you later, brother. All right, folks. That was Ninos, the champion. Let's go through some of these picks real quick. So it's funny because when I was putting this together, Nano, I kid you not, the worst picks and the best picks were almost all surprising to me. Like Terrance Mckinney, if you'd have told me that would be someone's best pick and that he'd get almost 200 points, I'd be like, nah, no chance. But I was wrong. If you told me that same person's team, the worst pick would be Leon Edwards, I would laugh.
Right. Especially at the time we were drafting, you would have felt much different about it.
Yeah, man. Like Charles Oliveira, worst pick. Davison Figueiredo, worst pick. Israel Adesanya, worst pick. Bo Nickel, worst pick.
And all of these
Bo Nickel got him like 8.5 points.
Oh, that's brutal. And going into it, you assume a lot of these names on paper you feel as safe as can be. Even Kaikar France. I mean, man, Charlie Olive's just bummer.
And I'm sorry, Bo
did
did get 15 points, but still, that's tough, man.
That's not enough.
It's not enough. Not nearly enough when there's folks out there getting 200 across the season. And then, not to mention, you look at the bottom there, and we have fighters that didn't fight. Mind you, folks, I ran out of space. There were like 5 more on here that either got injured or didn't fight, which we're going to vote on rules this next season for an injury rule or an injury clause, but we'll figure that out. And we will be adding a second flex, so it should get very interesting here this season. But yeah, man, Tom Aspinall, John Jones, Dominic Cruz, Zell Huber, freaking Dan Hooker, Arman, Hinad Fakhretinov, and like 2 of these people retired. It's not even just like they got injured; they freaking retired, brother. Just wild.
Yeah, that's tough, right? It's as Ninos was inferring there. Father Time is undefeated, and
Yes.
Wait, is Leroy in the basement?
Yes,
Absolutely.
he's basement Leroy in this league. Yeah,
That's right, at the end of the bench.
yeah. Mary actually passed him and one other right at the end.
Down to the
Even
wire.
with Charles Oliveira being one of her fighters that fought, like impressive stuff. And just got to do a quick shout out to all these people in the chat. What's up, Crossover? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Andrew Non's been here since the very beginning. Absolutely love to see it. And yeah, Nano's pick. I'm the one that chose the pictures. They had no say in that. They were at my mercy, and that was a good one on Nano.
Photogenic, what can I say?
Believe it or not, there were better.
Oh, I believe it.
Oh man. Western Mass Climber, how we doing, Western? Hope you're having a great
WMC.
day.
What it
Making
do?
the walk, always great to see Jax in the chat. Matua, y'all doing call-ins? I mean, we were just doing a call-in for the champ of the fantasy league, but we might have to set up some caller.
On the hotline, let's go.
Long-time listener, first-time call-ins.
Absolutely. You got to hit him with that.
Yo, Sam Jelly!
Absolutely.
What up? Hope you're having a great day back home. Lane bringing the pain in the chat. Let's go. Can't wait to hear all the bets I know you smacked on. I actually had a pretty good night myself there at the event, but we'll talk you through it. So let's go ahead and jump on into the event. What do you say, Nano?
Ain't nothing to it but to do it. That's what I say. Let's go.
Let's go. So the first fight was a heavyweight bout between Jhonata Diniz and Alvin Hines. Alvin Hines, of course, has a crazy backstory. Did some time in prison, and now he is fighting in the UFC octagon. He actually looked pretty damn good out there, considering the step up in competition and the fact that he was only 7-0 coming into this fight. Jhonata Diniz looked like Diniz usually does. He fought a good fight. Very strong. Wasn't strong enough to quite put away his opponent, though. The guy's very game. Not even a single knockdown in this fight. What was wild to me is the guy started throwing whip kicks to the head and spinning back wheel kicks. These guys are very heavy gentlemen. They're like 260 pounds. So pretty freaking wild, my guy, to see that happening, especially in the third round as it was. And the only other wild thing that I will say is in that very first fight, I saw Theo Von lose his shit at least 3 times. There was barely anybody in the arena, but man, Theo was there and he was repping hard. So love to see it. It was a great fight to start off things. And as the man sitting next to me at the arena said, man, it hits different when you got heavyweight starting off the fight card instead of a couple of like flyweight women's bouts. And, you know, he's not wrong. Like you could hear the applaud in the arena. You could hear the thundering of the hits on each other. It was a fun bout. Nano, what were your thoughts on this one? Were you impressed with Alvin Hines?
Yeah, honestly, I was impressed with both of these guys. Very impressed with their performance. I didn't know what to expect, so I'd say my expectations were a little low. You were watching the press conferences. Guy doesn't know how to take the hit and get off the stage. I didn't know if maybe the big lights, you know, it's a big difference, right? We mentioned the stage and everything. It's just sitting there. Nice. You're good, kid. Get off. Get off the scale. I love it, right? I mean, I'll just say, as much as I think Alvin Hines is a hopeful prospect here in the UFC, and he'll continue to hopefully get, you know, some calls. Jhonata Diniz, jeez, can't even talk, is a problem. I mean, he's a big athletic son of a gun. He stayed busy the entire 3 rounds, kept a pretty even pace. In fact, actually was scoring more strikes as the rounds were going on, and stuffing almost every one of Alvin's takedowns, making Alvin go 1 for 10 in those takedown attempts. I think that was really the deciding factor for me, even though Jhonata was definitely landing some heavy punches. Alvin had his moments, but Jhonata's too big, too physical, athletic as well, being able to stuff all those takedowns. I mean, he's a legitimate heavyweight here in the UFC. So I'm excited to see him. I'm pretty sure I actually saw him walking around New York when we were at that piano bar. That's a different story. But yeah, he's a problem. And I'm excited to see what's next for Jhonata. I mean, at 34 years old, he's going to have to kind of skyrocket himself into the conversation, which he kind of has now. But, you know, is he top 15 ready? I'm not sure about that. You know, I don't know if you have any thoughts on what's next for him, but looks like we got another.
We're
Shout out Sav Jelly
today, baby. Let's go.
All wearing the same shirt. Yeah. So if you're listening here, audio, we got our UFC BJJ shirts that they're giving out at International Fight Week. Was it the first BJJ event they had, or
they recently had the first event. It was like a month ago or so. So they're just trying to promote it now.
Exactly. Trying to promote it, trying to get some legs under it. So yeah, great minds think alike. I think that's what Sav Jelly's saying here. And Nance, you need one too? Okay. Well, you know what? We'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll try to pull some strings. No better way than to come out there with us, brother. You get all the shirts you want. Let's go.
Let's go. We're always trying to grow the IFW family, as we call it. So if you're trying to join, get adopted, my guy. Let's go. Join the family. Yeah, man. This was a fun fight. As far as what's next for Jhonata Diniz, I'm not here to play matchmaker for him right now. The fight was good, but it was against a short notice guy. And to be completely honest, a guy with 7 fights. So, I mean, both of these guys combined have sub 20 fights. So very, very young in their careers. But I'll tell you this, I agree with what was said in the chat by making the walk. Alvin Hines is someone to keep an eye on. He's very athletic, clearly learns fast, and a thin heavyweight division. He could make some noise. I completely agree. He might be on somebody's short list in the future in heavyweight. Heavyweight's a very thin division with people that don't fight very often. If he could be an active guy, he could be a guy that gets points. I'm definitely going to have to start compiling my list this week because we are drafting next week, and I feel not ready. So with that being said, we'll go on and move into the next fight if you don't have a name on the tip of your tongue, Nano.
No, I think we're good. Like you said, we'll keep it moving for the boys. It's thin, so let's just get it back out there and continue to make a name for themselves. I like it.
Absolutely, my guy. So the next fight took place in the welterweight division between a legend of the sport, a longtime veteran, Niko the Hybrid Price, coming in against Jacobe Smith, the newcomer. He was 10-0 coming into this one, and I'll be honest, his team was sat next to me at the fights, Jacobe Smith's. As Niko Price is walking out, they're all yelling, "Fuck this pussy up! This dude's nobody. He's a pussy. Blah blah. Knock this pussy out." They were going nuts, bro. And then as the fight went on, in between the first and second round, right? Guy leans over and he's like, "Do you know a lot about this guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's fought Robbie Lawler. He's fought a lot of legends. He's definitely not a pussy." And then by the time the second round ended and their boy was kind of getting hit a little bit, he leaned over and he's like, "Man, that guy's fucking tough, dude. That was a tough fight. That was hands down Jacoby's toughest fight for sure, man." Honestly, like, that was a tough guy. Like, seeing them gain respect like that for a fighter over the course of 2 rounds that's fighting their boy was pretty cool to see, man. It was like a full circle moment for those folks, and honestly, cool dudes. Definitely fighters themselves. The dude had some of the worst cauliflower hair I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Definitely was not going to start any crap with those guys. Not that I would in general. I'm a nice guy. But man, Jacobe Smith is definitely someone to watch. But I will tell you, at the upper echelon of the UFC, he's got his work cut out for him, Nano. I think he showed a lot of holes in his game. I think he shows he's a strong guy. That boy's strong, right? Like, but he also leaves his head on the center line to get hit. He did not show a lot of great head movement. Niko Price was starting to tag him, and he's not somebody that's known for having the fastest or sharpest hands. He's just a wily veteran that works his way into angles and kind of works his way into tough fights. But I digress, man. This kid, he's only 11-0. I think he's only going to get sharper. I do worry that they're going to pole vault him across the welterweight division, maybe a little bit too fast. And if that happens, he's going to get cooked to the bone, bro, by some of these tougher guys. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Like, did anything specific stand out to you about Jacobe Smith? Because again, for me, it was very strong prospect, like physically, literally strong, and just he has a lot of defensive gaps.
Exactly. I think that you hit the nail on the head, my brother. Just to add a little extra color here, I don't think the odd makers gave him any favors when this is one of the biggest cards of the year so far, and you literally give him the most egregiously one-sided odds. I think it was literally the biggest odd, like largest odds to win, right? Like minus 21,000. You're basically just throwing away money, assuming he's going to win. With that in mind, it's like, okay, and this is a Niko Price we're talking about, right? Like, it's someone that has been in there, has not always won all of his fights, but he's a respected professional fighter. And I just thought that was a bit much, and if you're going to be that highly ranked, you got to go walk through him. And he didn't, right? I mean, he earned his stripes. I mean, he being Jacobe Smith, he landed 70% of his strikes, went 73 out of 101, got a couple takedowns. One of those did end up leading to the submission. But I just thought, to your point, not as defensively sound. And I think a lot of that probably just at the end of the day goes down to training, getting into a room where you're not the best guy. He's probably been the best at his local gyms, and maybe it still is there, but it's like, you're only going to grow so big in a little pond. So now I think this is where, it's either going to accelerate exponentially. Like, we're going to see that large jump next time when he comes in, and he might legit be a problem where, I mean, you talk to DC, you hear DC, you hear all these analysts talk about him, and they speak with nothing but the highest regards. So it must be, right? I mean, if there's smoke, there's fire. But I would say you can't expect someone like this to continue to walk through guys. Like, this welterweight division, I think, might be the most stacked right now, maybe number 2, but has so much talent in the top of the division. It's going to be hard for him to break through, but it's already on a great start. So shout out Jacobe, and I hope Niko keeps getting paid with all those gosh darn kids he has, and can find a path to victory. Maybe another step down in competition. Might quit feeding him all these legends and heavy handers, man. Give him a fair crack. But that's neither here nor there. It was a fun fight.
Yeah, it was, man. It was a very fun fight. And Making the Walk said in the chat here, Jacobe Smith looked tired once he couldn't get Price out of there with his initial offensive flurry. Hopefully he learns from that. 100%. The dude was breathing so hard, man. As soon as, like you said, as soon as he couldn't get Niko out of there, and there were a couple times where maybe the ref could have stopped the fight and I wouldn't have been upset if he did, but it's Niko Price. This dude's going to want to go out on his shield and go out, as kind of courageous as he can. So, man, look, I liked this fight. It was a lot of fun, and it was a good test for Jacobe Smith. Like you said, Jax, I really hope he learns from that experience, because if he doesn't, it's not going to bode well for him with some of these tougher guys in the division. Now, with that being said, we are going to move into the prelims, the actual prelims. It was a lightweight bout between Terrance T-Rex McKinney coming in against Slaviclaus Vyacheslav Borshev. I had Borshev as one of my dogs, man. I thought he was going to get it done. I really, really did. He landed 2 strikes of the 2 that he thrown. He landed 2 significant strikes. And then the fight was over. Nano, I'll let you take the lead on this one. Talk to the people.
I'll be short and sweet because that's how the fight went, my brother. We were just getting to Twin Peaks. We're getting settled in. All the TVs are on. It's loud. Beers are flowing. And ready to see T-Rex go out there and wreck it up. And what it felt like from the jump, pretty much just literally jumped across the octagon, grabbed a leg on our boy Santa Claus, and man, got him in one of the most compromised positions I've seen in a while. Had that, was it a guillotine? I'm blanking on the choke, Darce maybe, but whatever choke he had, you got it.
I think it was a Darce.
I think it was Darce, huh? I think it was Darce.
I'm pulling it up right now. But
erroneous to the story here. I mean, Terrance
it was a mounted guillotine.
Oh, it was mounted guillotine. Okay.
Yeah.
Sick. So got to go with my gut. I was silly. Should have jumped Gilly. And that's what he did, right? Terrance McKinney went out there, was not silly, jumped the Gilly right away, and had Santa Claus, legs kicking like a newborn child there, like a fish out of water. It was a bad look. He had nowhere to go. And that's what happens when you're in there with a T-Rex. Still an alpha predator. Still somebody that has some namesake. Let's call it what it is. He's been really up and down with his career. I think we've been on here before talking about how it's just hard to trust him. He's been against some of the top talent. Didn't always end up in his favor, but man, this couldn't have been a better outing for him. And getting through your opponent so quickly like that means you can really double down and hopefully get a quick turnaround, get another fight in maybe sooner rather than later. And again, you're a Terrance McKinney. You're I think a relatively solid name. I'm not going to say a superstar, but you're notable. And man, why not try to give him a chance to try to continue up? And I'm looking at all these rankings in the lightweight division, y'all. It is a murderer's row. Okay, I don't know where you want to try to put in T-Rex. I know a Nazim Sadikov recently fought. Maybe you want to throw him in there against someone like that.
Nazim RNC'd him just a couple years ago.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry, brother.
Well, that might be too high. Yeah, it might be too bullish already.
1 minute, 7 seconds into round number 2, 2023, July 15th.
I might be better.
I pulled up Nazim as soon as you started. When I realized you were about to give your name, because I was like, he's gonna say fucking Black Wolf. I know it.
Yeah. That feels fair. That's a good.
When I first looked at it, I was like, oh, Nazim would be fun. And then I looked and I'm like, I do remember that fight. He got him. He got.
Yeah, and they're not going to necessarily grant like a number 2 unless it's something impactful. But no, again, you throw the name out there. Anybody's good. Drew Dober, even a Thiago Moises, some of that might be a little bit on the back 9 of their careers, but so is Terrance. He's been in for a long time, I guess what I'm trying to say. I'm happy just to see him go back out there, get in the winner's side of things, and hopefully continue to make a name for himself. But my brother, how did you feel about this one?
I absolutely loved it, man. I thought it was a fantastic fight. I bet on Slaviclaus, so that part of it wasn't fun. And then I also ran into Slaviclaus literally like an hour after the event. So that also felt pretty bad, man. Especially when, like, I told him I'm a big fan and he said, I'm sorry for tonight. To which I responded with, you're a fighter. Everybody has a bad night at the office every now and then, and you tend to look better every time you make that walk. So keep your head up. Enjoy your gelato. He was having gelato from New York. So, yeah, man, it was tough to see as a Slava Klaus fan. But this is one of those fights where we talked about it before. We're a fan of both these guys. It was nice to see Terrance McKinney bounce back into the win column. And not only that, but do so without taking any damage whatsoever. Now, what do I think should be next for him? I mean, the best ability is availability, right? So if he's available and somebody like a Mauricio one-shot Rufy is looking for a fight, I think that could generate some heat. I think that could headline an Apex card.
Sheesh. Oh man. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm scared for my boy T-Rex, but
one guy that downloads data and then makes you look silly, and one guy that doesn't give anybody a chance to download even a fucking megabyte.
Yeah, I want to see him fight ASAP.
That sounds fun.
Bet you are, Con.
Yeah, it's like, one guy is fire, the other guy is a stick of dynamite. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know it's going to be explosive, right?
Bet you are.
Yeah, I like that fight a lot. The next fight I did not love because, again, I thought Viviane Araujo in the women's flyweight division was going to get it done, but she didn't. Tracy Cortez went out there. She looked stronger. She looked like she was more durable. And honestly, the takedowns were the tail of the tape, right? She got 3 of 5 takedowns, 60% clip, and racked up a decent amount of control time with it. And while she was on top, she was landing strikes. She landed 102 total strikes, 65 of which were considered to be significant strikes. Her opponent only able to land 39 strikes in return, 22 of which were significant. So she effectively outlanded her opponent 3-1 on significant and total strikes. Made it look fairly easy. If Viviane was able to keep this fight standing, maybe it would have played out a little bit differently. But even then, I'm still not 100% convinced. It might be time for Viviane to hang him up. She has stopped growing and progressing in her last couple fights. I thought that even with that kind of situation, she would be good enough to go out there and get the win over Tracy Cortez. But while one woman is not showing much growth, the other continues to show growth. So I actually really liked the way Tracy Cortez looked in this fight. Her boxing looked better. Her grappling damn sure looked better, and just overall dominant performance for her. What's next? Alexa Grasso. I think that's the fight to make. I think it's got banger written all over it, and I think she's earned her shot against somebody that's got that kind of namesake.
Wow.
And that was Nano, folks. He got so excited he hit something there. Go to the chat real quick. Making the Walk said, that's a rough one. Ruffy versus T-Rex won't make it past 1 guaranteed. Exactly, bro. You gotta bet the under 1.5 rounds on that one. He's back, folks. He's back.
Oh my gosh. I think my computer screen just took a hiccup. Just get excited. I was like, wow, my brother, you did a great job. I absolutely love that fight. Tracy Cortez, man. I mean, obviously the looks. She's based out here in Arizona. She's a beautiful Latina, strong, si se puede. And she's a killer, right? She's finally getting to a point, I feel, where it's all coming together, right? She's had moments. She has the namesake. She has the notoriety. But, man, is she able to go out there and put together a good 15 minutes, all the way through, covering all the bases. And honestly, I think ever since that loss to Thug Rose, I think it really, really made her step up. And she has some big wins, man. And again, a dominant win over a tough opponent like Viviane Araujo. I think definitely calls for somebody ranked high. And man, I was having a hard time looking at that top 5, 6, in terms of who deserves what. But Alexa Grasso, that honestly just hit a red light bulb in my head when it comes to a potential upcoming Mexico City card, any UFC Noche. That could be a headliner for sure. And honestly, a really good stylistic matchup. I would really be curious to see how that one goes. Don't want to see Latina on Latina violence, I mean, for us Mexicanos out there, we might be like, no, I'm going to go beat up someone else. But at the same time, Chihuihuis is right. That is absolute banger city. And I think a good litmus test for Tracy, a ex-champion, and for Alexa, hey, go out there and beat an up-and-comer that is surging right now. But great fight all in all, just to quickly say that too. Let's go.
Cortez wants to fight at UFC Noche. Love that. Put her on there against Alexa Grasso. Makes even more sense. Jax also said Viviane Araujo should definitely walk away. 38 years old and regressing. She can still win fights, but against much less fighters. Not moving towards the belt. I completely agree. And Lazy Bed, what up, my guy? Chihuihuis. You know what I'm saying? We love to see you in the chat, my guy. Hope you're enjoying the breakdown. Hope you enjoyed these fights. One thing I didn't enjoy was how quick this next fight ended, man. We had a featherweight bout between Haider Amil and Jose Delgado. Let me tell you, Haider Amil probably wished that he would have Haidered in the back instead of going out to the octagon on Saturday night because, man, it only took 26 seconds and a swift knee to the dome, followed by some, probably unnecessary ground shots after that to get it done. And crazy enough, the number of strikes Jose Delgado landed was 9 out of 11. And for those of you that didn't catch that, that's 9-1-1, which is what his opponent needed after that fight. It was just a hell of a showcase for Jose Delgado. He made it look easy. I'll be honest, though, Nano, I don't think I learned much about him other than he's got really great timing and really great precision. Outside of that, I mean, again, like 26 seconds, dude gave me a lot of excitement and an excuse to be able to go get another drink in between rounds. So I appreciate him for that. But again, I wasn't able to download a ton of data. I don't know anything about any further weaknesses about this kid. He just made it too damn quick, man.
Yeah, and I think that's the best way to say it is it was quick. All I could tell was that this dude is a violent motherfucker. He has absolute skills. And for whatever reason, I'm just watching him warm up and I'm watching him move. And I'm telling Drew, I'm like, this guy just looks like a traditional boxer. Like he looks like a true featherweight WBC, champion of some sort. I'm like, God, So to me, I don't know. I just had that premonition. I was going for Haider. So I'm going to have to take my drink here because I was super fucking wrong. My boy representing the Bay Area, had it on his name and all. Love that. How hard to go against the Bay? But
I literally said the same thing in the crowd. I was like, yay, area.
Ghost rap. Yeah, man. I mean,
we're all getting it, bro. We're all getting it.
From the Yay to LA, man. But and Jose Miguel Delgado pretty much sent Haider's head with his flying knee to the face. Sorry, I just hit my desk here. I'm so excited. Back to the Bay Area. My goodness, this guy's a problem. He's a big featherweight, my brother. Was he 6 feet? Sitting there at 145, and he uses every bit of that reach, every bit of his sharp, long elbows. And I mean, he landed a flawless Muay Thai knee to the face. I mean, that thing would put most people out. I don't care what division you're in. He's nasty. He's 10-1. His last 7 fights, all finishes. He does not need the judges. You talked about taking a break. The judges could go kick rocks, fuck off for 5 minutes, 15 minutes. 2 minutes. Don't need much. He's going to get it done. And 5 of the last 7 finishes are all TKOs. I should have saw that. I just honestly was blinded by my Bay Area brethren and thought he also is a dog. He's going to go in there and make it nasty. And that's what he did. He went in there. He moved forward. He just ran into a brick wall. Just ran into a freight train there, unfortunately. And, my little Prius, Haider Amil's little Toyota just was not enough for this big old freight train running through. So, honestly, again, can't reiterate enough. Jose Miguel Delgado is a dog. He earned a fan in your boy. I'm going to be keeping tabs on him because I honestly think he has a skill set that can really, really make splashes here in the division. And how he's going to do that, I think he give him our boy Melky. I think he give him Milkaziel Costa. That's a violent fight. 2 bad mofos. Why not? Who's the bigger, badder mofo? Let's see.
That's a good matchup, man. That's a good matchup. I don't know if that's too far up the ladder, though. Whew.
Oh, man.
Hey,
you do something big like that, you ask and you shall receive. That's how I feel. But you think I might be for your blood a little bit?
I mean, I was leaning more towards somebody a little bit lower down the totem pole. Somebody like a Joe Anderson, Torobao Brito, or like a William Jaguar Gomes. I think both of those would be fun matchups. I think the Gomes matchup would probably be more favorable, like a funner matchup. But I could also see like Haider Amil getting matched up against those guys and them giving Melky to our boy. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't care who they match him up with. I just needed to write some names down because it doesn't matter to me who they match him up with. I'm going to watch. The dude is talented as fuck. He obviously is strong as hell. And, yeah, bro, just nasty stuff.
Yeah, he's a violent fighter.
I thought the Haider Amil hurricane pace was going to drown Delgado. Wrong. Brother, same.
Yeah, I mean, over time it would have, right? I mean, I think we could all agree making the walk.
There
You're
just
definitely
was no time.
Yeah, you're making the sense, but what we didn't factor in was, I mean, a vicious knee, up the center pipe. I mean, Hyder's got to see that coming. It's I don't know who survived that. I don't know who.
Look, dude, I'd love to say that the hurricane was stopped before it became a hurricane. Like maybe it was a tropical storm, but let's be honest, it was just barely even a strong gust of wind by the time he got stopped in there. The hurricane didn't have time to form, brother.
I thought hurricane season was over.
What's good, Juice Man? How you doing, brother? Let's go.
Great to have you. Just
in time for the Yay Area talk, brother.
Yes, sir.
I was with Hyder too, but that's on us for picking a 35-year-old prospect. Oh, okay, lazy bed. That's right. Fair.
That was a lazy pick on our end. That's on us.
He's out of line, but he's not wrong. Like,
don't like it. But I can't say he's wrong.
Oh man. All right. So with that being said, we'll go on to move into the headliner of the preliminary card. It was Jack the Joker Hermansson coming in against Gregory Robocop Rodrigues. Man, oh Manowitz, this was nasty. This was so nasty. I'll be honest, in all the live events I've ever attended, I don't think I've ever been so scared for a human being in my life. When Jack Hermansson's body hit the floor, it was scary, bro. Like everybody screamed like, yeah. And then they noticed that he wasn't moving. And then it went so silent you could hear a pin drop in that arena. And he didn't move for the next 5.5 minutes. I don't know how many commercials they showed you guys, but it was just a scary scene there. Like he laid down for 5.5 minutes, not moving even his fingers, his arms, nothing. Like just laid out with different medical officials coming to check on him. And then his fingertips moved and he barely raises his hands. And the whole crowd, yeah! Because we're like, he's alive! And then when he sat up, he got probably the second biggest pop of the whole night. Like, it was wild. And the wildest thing about this entire thing, Nano, the wildest thing, I'm going to bring the mic up close to my face, make it real intimate here because it needs it. Okay. The wildest thing about this whole situation, Jack was winning that fight. Jack was winning. He was winning till he died. It's tough, man. It's tough. He had 30 strikes to the 18 of Gregory. Mind you, Gregory had thrown almost 10 more shots than him and still had barely landed half as many. He was outworking him, man. And if that fight continues, if he just doesn't get caught by that one shot, it's a tough night for the choker. But that's the issue with going against someone who has the nuclear option. Like we've said this ad nauseum about fucking the man, the myth, the legend of the main event, right? The man with the roses, Ilia Taptoro, as Conor McGregor calls him. Fucking Ilia Taptoro. When you have the nuclear option, your opponent has to fight a perfect fight for 25 minutes or 15 minutes, and you just have to land one. That's RoboCop. That is the RoboCop anomaly. That's the RoboCop MMA anomaly, folks. Like, he does have the nuclear option. He just has to land one. We've seen it put people out cold. This was a nasty knockout and a very impressive one. And to be honest, I think the sky's the limit for this guy at this rate. Like, he just keeps on getting stronger, keeps on getting better. Even when he's losing a fight, he manages to come back and just starch his opponent. So, very impressive performance for Gregory Rodrigues. He also looked very calm out there, I think was my biggest takeaway from the fight, Nano. I feel like more often than not, he's out there just rushing and throwing those hands, right? He was very calm. He only landed 18 strikes, and I feel like a lot of those 63 strikes where they said that he missed, he was just feinting and testing and measuring. So, great showing for RoboCop. Nano, what shocked you or stood out to you most about this fight?
Yeah, I think the ferociousness of that knockout and how Jack was after definitely is alarming. I mean, no doubt about it. Going into the fight, I was a little worried with Jack and his age and what was left of that chin of his. Because again, a Gregory Rodrigues RoboCop, since the day he entered the UFC, has just been an absolute terror. He is robotic in many ways with his power. Dude's been in tons of fights since 2021, and he's only lost 3 times. Split decision to Armand Petrosian, who's a talented fighter still. Lost to Bruno Ferreira, where I remember covering that fight with the MMAnomaly. I was at the in-laws' house, and that's when we talked about Bruno. We did not talk. We knew RoboCop, but we did not talk about Bruno. Flash knockout. Those things happen. Gets back in a 3-fight win streak, and then loses to a Jared Cannonier, who, I mean, let's call it what it is. This guy's, and also an MMA anomaly as far as his power and his longevity and his ability to still be this gosh darn good, pushing the age that he's at. Another win, right? I wanted to take you down memory lane just to let y'all know, like, RoboCop is a dude. Yes, he has a couple losses, but these things happen. He's fighting the best of the best. If he could continue to stay on the right side of things, and like he said in his post-fight conference, man, he's just doing his job. Not his fault. Herb Dean wasn't there. In fact, I don't know why Herb Dean's fucking ass on the other side of the octagon cage. Like, bro, get up in there. Be in the mix, man. You got two big mofos in there. I think he should know better. Everyone wants to, it's easy to point fingers and say, wow, Gregory's a violent dude. Like, how could he? If you've never been in a fight, if you've never had adrenaline pumping through you, you can't really knock him for it. Okay. So you don't know. And at the end of the day, it is not his job. It is the referee's job. So I did want to mention that, but boy, it was scary. I mean, big moment by Gregory. In terms of what's next for this middleweight, who's, I would say, up and down, but really, two losses in the last 2 years. 3 years, actually, excuse me. Do we give him someone ranked? I mean, I'm rolling through here, and literally everybody already has a dance partner. So I don't know if we just wait to see how things align. But I do also see somebody here in a 3-fight win streak. I haven't seen him fight recently. What about Abbas? What about Abus Magomedov? Excuse me. What do you feel about that name, brother? Again, slim pickings here. You go down the list. Everybody's fighting everybody. So let me know your thoughts, brother.
So honestly, I think if we're trying to get him just an instant matchup with somebody that's not already paired up with a dance partner, and I know this is going to be way too far up the list for some people, but I know that this man wouldn't say no to it. Israel Adesanya. I think that's a fun matchup. I think it's a very fun matchup, and why not? If Adesanya is still fighting, he's on a 3-fight skid. This fight is probably going to move Gregory significantly up the rankings as they come out throughout the week. And Abus would be fighting down for him, according to Tapology at least.
Yeah, and he's on a win streak, so it's like, would he really want to do that? I mean, again, everyone's tied up. Maybe he's just like, hey, I need a fight. Maybe, but I like Izzy as well. Izzy's someone that will always say yes. In fact, to his own detriment, will say yes. So
the other name I have is Sean Strickland.
Oh,
another guy who doesn't say no, really. So
Sean could be fun. I can see Sean saying no, though, only because I think he's like he wants to be at the top. WMC, like the matchup, attaboy. Well, I guess I
like this one too, Matua. Gregory and MVP is a solid shout. It's a good shout.
Yeah, that's a great shout, actually, Matua. Word.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very good shout.
Lazy bed with
Strickland
potential breaking
likely
news.
looking at a 12-month suspension.
I know what you're referring to. I think. Did you see what happened with Strickland?
I did. Is that a but that should be a suspension for cornering, not fighting.
Yeah, let us know, lazy bed.
Don't be surprised if Curtis finds himself off the Nashville card as well. We should be. He fucking held the guy back. And I think he snuck an uppercut in there in the extended footage. Yeah, that shit was trash, bro. I'm sorry. Like, if your fighter gets beat by another guy and he says, suck it, like, you're literally a professional fighter, bro. Mm-hmm. You cannot do that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's when you invite him to the gym or something, or like pull up, in that kind of manner. But I mean, homeboy was, he hit the 3 or 4 hip thrust, which we know, according to Key and Peele, that is, can't do more than 3. But he's guillotining his boy. He's like doing the little tongue out to the corner. I mean,
he hit him with a little jive turkey action.
I would want to put hands on him as well. Am I going
to?
No. Yeah, I would want to. Every bit of my being, every fiber in every molecule would want to hurt that motherfucker. But doesn't mean I can't. That's not the world we live in. So it's unfortunate for Sean.
If it's me, I'm flexing, bro. I'm walking in there. I'm walking up to him. I'm shaking his hand. And as I shake his hand, I'm pulling him in for the bro hug. And then I'm whispering in his ear, make it to the UFC when you want to get beat by a real guy, huh?
I'll say I'm in your gym tomorrow. I'll say I'm in your gym tomorrow. Like,
let's go, boy.
I'll see you at your gym.
And then I don't know if you saw the promo dude cut afterwards. I think it was it with Ioli? Who was it with?
Miami-Dade police force and talk with that, right? He's kind of talking his mess. Yeah.
And then he told Sean, he's like, he said, hey, Dana White, UFC, Sean Shelby. Sean Strickland couldn't knock me out, so give me my chance in the UFC. He can't knock me out, and that guy was one of your champions. Give me my shot.
He's like, I'm just a cop, man. I'm not even doing this full time, like whatever. So I respect. I mean, well, okay, no, I don't respect the antics. I'll be honest, but he beat him, and I mean,
Strickland and the do-rag is hood as hell. You're talking about Deshaun Strickland. Deshaun Strickland, my guy. Matua, aren't you a doctor? He said Strickland needs a mentor, not a doctor. Juice man, I'm a butt doctor. Then you should definitely help out Sean Strickland. He's a bit of a butt himself. Bad jokes aside. Yeah, man. Gregory Rodrigues, Hobocop, this guy, a real strong guy. In the cage, not a nice guy. Hey, there he is. What's up, brother? Your boys are literally back in town. You know what? Absolutely right.
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Boys are back.
Let's go. Where's he as dogs? Back like he never left.
Had to hit it. Brother, back in your life, back in your hearts, back on your screens. And back in our residential homes. My guy, Drew actually just made it back today. Shout out to him. He banked over $1,000 in that competition.
Nice, not a boy.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Dude, he's a fucking legend, bro. I made a cheeky little 350 on the main card. We'll go over it in a bit, though. With that being said, folks, we'll jump on into the main card right now because, as Bruce Buffer likes to say,
It's time
for us to talk about this damn main card, which we were supposed to get Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov, but I'll be honest, I don't think we missed out on anything because this fight card was a banger. The main card was just fucking phenomenal. The prelims were full of finishes, but hey, these last couple finishes on the top of the bill, fireworks through and through. And even the 3 decision wins we had, I mean, one of them was a fight of the year. One of them showed extreme growth from one of the fighters. And one of them showed that one of the fighters is still Timothée Chalamet. So, starting off in the bantamweight division, we have a bout between Payton Talbott and Felipe Jungle Boy Lima. This was an absolute barn burner of a fight, in my opinion. There was a gentleman sitting in front of me at the fights, and he is a 10-year wrestler. I literally tapped that man on the shoulder halfway through the fight and said, my guy, don't take this the wrong way, but I know as a grappler yourself, your nipples must be trying to cut through that shirt there so hard right now, watching these scrambles. He looked at me and said, I'd be lying if I said they aren't. Brother, holy shit. Talbot looked fucking great. I love that you spell it the same way you say it. Shout out Talbot. Let's go. Fucking ass dogs. I love you, dude. Never change, my guy. Payton Talbot is an absolute beast, man. An absolute beast. No, I've been steamrolling through these. I got to give you the lead on this one, man. Tell us how this fight made you feel.
I appreciate that, my brother. I appreciate you're flowing, man. I didn't want to, get you off the high horse there, but I
fired up, bro.
Happened. Hard not to be, brother. I kid you not, y'all, everyone listening. I honestly think, and maybe right next to, maybe a nose ahead of UFC 300. I mean, the best card I've seen in a long time. The main card, 1,000. I mean, no question. But all in all, this card was freaking fire. And look no further than Send the Tone with one of the biggest up-and-coming stars into Payton Talbot, man. Dude is a problem. Obviously, we saw what happened last outing, and I think, recency bias made it look like Felipe Lima was going to go out there and do the same thing. Though I do think Felipe Lima showed a lot. He proved a lot to me. Payton did just enough to edge it out. I thought it was a really close fight. I really did not know how they're going to be looking at it, but I think in retro, Payton's ability to command the center of the octagon, sort of dictate how the pace of the fight went. I mean, Felipe honestly looked like he was sparring out there. He was throwing punches like a freaking flyweight. I mean, so active, constantly trying to take him down, constantly moving. but he's moving backwards, which obviously doesn't help in terms of trying to get your shots off or really, land with purpose. And then some of those scrambles, right? I mean, really, really good scrambling, good wrestling, good defense. Just all around good grappling performance by both guys. But again, Payton Talbott just was able to do a little bit more, right? This is a game of inches, and he, I'll use the expression again, won by the nose, a nose length here, if we're talking racing terms. And that's what it is, right? I mean, hey, you're going to continue to fight better and better talent. You're not going to just be able to continue to walk through guys. I will admit the last thing, it felt like Payton, and I don't know if it's just because Felipe Lima was just such an explosive and quick athlete, but Payton looks more stiff to me. That might just be, again, like eye contrast from both fighters, but Payton is back where he needs to be. A contender in the bantamweight division. I'm going to quickly try to pinpoint maybe one person who I think is the best fit for what's next, as I hand it off to my brother here, MMAnomaly, to give his 2 cents on this banger of a main card, first matchup here. How are we feeling, brother?
Man. This was a fight for the ages. And again, I got to pull up this comment from Matua because I think they put it best here. Love watching a fighter's maturation process because watching him mature in there is just absolutely incredible. And what I mean by that is this is the same kid, folks. This is the same kid, folks. I'm going to say it again. This is the same kid, folks, that we just watched go out there and get absolutely manhandled by Raoni Barcelos. Oh, and by the way, I was there live for both of those performances. Okay, I was at 311. I saw that live. I was sitting much closer for this when I saw this one live. And I can tell you I enjoyed, as a Payton Talbot fan, one performance a lot more than the other. Raoni Barcelos, 8 takedowns, 9 minutes, 43 seconds of control time. Payton Talbot, 1 takedown, 1 minute and 25 seconds of control time. Now let's fast forward, folks. Not that much at all, right? He just fought January 18th this year, and then he's back 5 months later, 6 months later in June 28th. 0 takedowns for Payton Talbot. 3 takedowns of 15 attempted. Mind you, Raoni attempted 15 takedowns as well. He landed 8 of them and got over 9 minutes of control time. His new opponent, Felipe, landed 3 takedowns out of the same attempted number and got 3 minutes and 23 seconds of control time. Now, here's the kicker, Nano. This is what stood out to me the most. It was the scrambles. This is what I really, really loved about this. 0 takedowns, 4 minutes and 49 seconds of control time. He had almost a round of control time in off 0 takedowns. His opponent got 3, and he got almost an entire round of control time out of it. A whole minute and a half more than his opponent. The scrambles, the reversals, the sweeps. He didn't even need to kick off the cage for most of these. He was just fucking wily and crafty and honestly just skilled out there. He looked really good. Lazy man, me too, man. Love this kid. Payton proved what you can accomplish in 6 months when you're 26 years old and full of piss, vinegar, and Frank Ocean. Remarkable improvements. A tornado blew across his room this fight camp. He trained to win this shit. It usually doesn't rain in Southern California.
Arizona.
Yes!
Let's go. Well,
I knew you were
baby.
to come in, bro.
I had to. I was waiting for my time.
I knew it, brother. I always know if I lay it out, you're there to play it out, baby.
Damn straight.
Oh, juice, man. Kyle. Yeah. I don't know if you just got here, but we played a little graphic earlier of our fantasy league, and one of the worst picks in the entire league was Kai Car-France. You can see him over there for Hiram in the shades doing his best crossover impression. It was tough. It was tough, man. It was the best of times. I'll say it was the worst of times. But yeah, we're going to get into that in just a moment. Nano, I hope I bought you enough time. You have a name on the tip of your tongue for the young man?
I think so, man. I think so. I went back and forth, and I think one criteria I'm trying to look at here, because they're great names, but I think Payton should be finding someone that is also coming off a win, heck, maybe even 2 wins. And look no further than Ricky Simon. Hey, I like Ricky Simon, man. Good veteran OG, big name. Both guys are looking to climb. what better way to really confirm your stardom by being someone like a Ricky? And we know he's going to want to wrestle you. So if that wrestling defense is as real as we saw last Saturday, then Payton might have a chance. Let's go. I like that a lot, brother. What do you think? Is that too rich for your blood, or anyone else that's more favorable for you?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I actually really like that a lot. I really, really like that a lot, man.
Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah, I do. I really enjoy that matchup. The other names that I had were Jonathan the Dragon Martinez, who doesn't have a matchup right now. He's coming off of 2 back-to-back decision losses. Before that, he was on quite a run with a decision, TKO wins, all spanning from 2022 just to 2023. 24 was a rough year for him. He hasn't fought thus far this year, so he is looking for a fight, as Dana White would say. The other name at the top of my list is definitely a bit rich, right? Might be biting off a bit too much, might be a bit of an Icarus effect, but I know they want to push this kid. I know I'm not wrong there. He's a marketing machine for so many reasons, and he hits a different demographic. We all know that. Some people in the chat might not love this one, but I think Montel Quick Jackson.
Oh boy!
I think you give him someone ranked, you give him someone else young, and you see how he fares in the fire, right? Don't give him another wily veteran that's almost 40 that's got man strength. Give him another guy with that kid strength, right? Like piss and vinegar, as Lazybed pointed out. And look, he's got piss and vinegar, but he ain't got Frank Ocean, so he's missing one of the 3 there, bud.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, that can definitely be the narrative around that for me is, hey, this is a top 15 eliminator. Like, this guy's going to be fighting for a top 15er probably next, would be my assumption. I like Lazybed, though, here as well. And
the Yanez shout.
Yeah, I didn't realize to be honest, we were there. I mean, a lot of ruckus after. I didn't see everyone's post-fight interviews. So if he didn't mention it, hey, I'm all for always giving the fighters what they ask for. Asking.
He's literally right next to him in the Tapology rankings too. He's one step above him, 23 and 22. So not a bad match.
Definitely makes sense, and it makes sense for both of them in a lot of ways. Adrian Yanez needs to come back and win. If you could beat a Payton Talbott, you're right back
huge
in the pocket. And if you're Payton, obviously that's a big name. Yeah. Two of my favorite fighters in the division. God, you suck again. I'm having a hard time picking that one. Let's go. Great pick, Elizabeth. I see you.
It's a tough pick, man, because I love Yanez, but I think I'd go Talbot, man.
That's why I'm like, I hate it. I want Yanez to do good, man. Can't win them all. They all can't be champ pound for pound. So whatever. It's all good.
Oh, man. Might burn out his star a little bit sooner than we thought he would. Speaking of stars getting burned out a little bit sooner than we thought they would, we move on and find ourselves in the lightweight division, folks, for a bout between Beneil Dariush, a.k.a. Benny from the block, coming in against Jhonata Moicano, a.k.a. Jhonata wants money. Folks, he only got half a paycheck on Saturday for reasons that you all know, right? I got to tell you, when I say this fight did not go the way I thought it was going to go. Jhonata got outlanded 2-1 at a 77-38 strikes clip, 56-31 on significant strikes, just shy of 2-1 there. And the thing that shocked me the most was the takedowns, man. Benny landed 5 of 5 attempted takedowns. The man, every time he shot it, just looked smooth as fucking butter. He was slicing through the guard of this man like a hot knife through butter, actually. It was tough to watch. I don't know. Like, Jhonata just seemed flat-footed from the very start of the fight. He didn't seem like his normal self at all. He wasn't bouncing back and forth. He wasn't, like, finding the distance or the range. And it looked like maybe they had sparred in Benny's fucking mind a few weeks ago, or for the last few weeks, for that matter. Because he had the range right away. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, brother. Kick me off the fucking bar stool if I'm crazy here.
No, you're right.
And again, like, it was a bit of a deja vu situation from those early prelims, right? That Niko Price versus Jacobe Smith fight, where you see a man get a knockdown, you're like, oh, he could finish him here. He could get this win. And then you just got another man who's too damn durable. And he keeps on fighting, and he keeps on going, he keeps on growing. And that's what he did across the distance of this 15-minute fight. Beneil Dariush proved that he is not an old man. He is just 15 days older than Jhonata Money Moicano. And he went out there and proved that he's still a fucking guy. And dare I say, Nano, he might just still be a fucking lion in the jungle, brother. The man proved that he still got it. And whatever it is, he's full of it, bro. I think you got to give this man a real true ranked opposition. And I think that ranked opposition is Arman Tsarukyan. You got to give him a number one contender fight after this. The guy he fought just stepped up and fought our fucking last champion in the lightweight division on short notice. If you're not giving him that shot, you don't like him. So Nano, tell me I'm crazy. Tell me why I'm wrong.
I could try to think of a reason right now, but I'd be lying to you, my brother. I actually agree with you a lot. And in my head, I had sort of this like three-way, thruple or love triangle between Gamrot, Dariush, and Arman. All the other names to me feel like they're kind of who they are. They're stars, probably Hall of Famers, nothing else to prove. But it does feel like Beneil, and this is my narrative here. I'm putting the puzzle pieces together. Bear with me. Beneil earned that next step up, right? He took on the money Moicano fight, beat him. Almost, he got dropped. That was a little scary. I ain't gonna lie, a little scary. But what better way to prove your heart than to bounce back up and go out and win for the next 14 minutes? That was impressive, and I do think styles make matchups. So my first thought is, man, I want to see good versus good, best versus best. Why not a Beneil Dariush? Honestly, Arman makes sense. That probably makes the most sense. However, a Mateusz Gamrot sitting there in the wings, one ranking above a Beneil Dariush, and wants that same shot. I don't know how you make that decision. Maybe Arman is getting the next shot, so I don't know. There's still a lot of moving pieces up top.
He's not getting the next shot. Dana's mad at him for pulling out. That's not happening.
So
he wants to punish him.
He did mention that. And so maybe I leave Arman out of this, and then I even still like a Beneil Gamrot straight up. It's even. I don't get Gamrot wouldn't necessarily love it because he wants to crack at the top 5 again, and I think Beneil does as well. But to your point, if Arman's gonna get punished, or if he needs to go fight another top contender, look no further than anybody in that top 5, right? Besides Dustin. Obviously, Dustin's gonna be exiting soon. Teardrop out my eye. But
if he wins that fight, they offer him. If he wins that fight, they're gonna offer him a fight against Ilia, I think, and he's gonna stay. Dustin, I mean.
Oh.
He'll put his boxing against Ilia's. And he saw how little he looked against Charles. I promise you, I would bet money on it, bro.
Like a BMF type thing? Or for the
for the lightweight belt. He'd fight Ilia.
Shit.
Because that would be his chance at gold. He'd be the first and only fighter to unify the BMF belts and the title belt. And Ilia would want that fight because it would unify him, and he'd be the first to do that.
Yeah.
It's an absolute money fight, bro. There's literally no reason not to. I just have to jump in the chat real quick. Got to correct this. Matua says, love the Beneil win. Iran has a lot of momentum right now. Fun fact, he's not technically Iranian. He's Assyrian. My significant other is also Assyrian. She's met him at a couple of different Assyrian conventions. Yeah. She literally texted me as soon as he won and was like, fuck, I missed an opportunity to fly the Assyrian flag today. And of course, the family group chat was waving with the Assyrian flag gifts. So you love to see it. How about Beneil versus Patty, says Western Mass Climber. I'm not mad at that at all. And yeah, Matua, I actually speak Assyrian to my cats. They respond to it better than English.
Yeah, it might be their first language. That's hilarious.
I'm telling you, bro. Beneil Gamrot rematch, I wouldn't mind. That's what I was going to say. I didn't realize they
fought. But he also fought Arman as well. So I'm over here spitting sweet nothings. It's hard. You're at the top. You're fighting on the top. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Run it back. That's
why I was saying Arman, because it's like I have the same love triangle. Kind of like I think those are the 3 that should match up, at least 2 of them, right? Yeah. But Arman hasn't fought him yet. I think that's a fun matchup for both guys. And I can't imagine Dana wants to reward Arman after pulling out of that fight at such short notice.
Agreed.
Still one of the most impressive things I've ever seen from a company standpoint, from a production standpoint, is actually when me and Crossover went to that event. And, man, just absolutely bonkers that he pulled out of that fight. And in such short notice, I kid you not, we went to the arena the next day. Like, we were there the day before for the press conference before he pulled out. They had the wall scrolls up. They had merch for sale. We went there the next day. The wall scroll is different. They have replaced Arman with Jhonata Moicano. Name another company that can do that. You wait in line for 2 hours for merch? Yeah, you're buying the fucking new main event. Jhonata Moicano facing off against fucking Islam Makhachev. Like the production crew, that is why Arman is getting shithoused right now. They probably spent $3 million to fix that. And Arman will never make them that money by himself.
No, absolutely not. You're goddamn right.
It's a shithouse move, bro. Like, you pulled out the day of the fight, or the day before the fight, the night before the fight. They had to do all of that work. They had to reprint all of the shirts. It's not like the old shirts, just they make the money on those. They piss that money away. And then they have to also print all these new shirts to make sure they have enough inventory. Oh, and by the way, a lot of those aren't going to sell. It was probably more than that. So, I mean, just from a merch standpoint alone, like, he cost them so much money as a company. And then the stress he put on them, etc. Like, I can't imagine he's in anybody at the UFC's good graces right now. And then you add to the fact that every time he's on the mic, he's like, I don't need the money. I don't do this for money. Then fucking pay them back. That's what Dana's thinking.
I believe him. If you look at his Instagram, this guy's in Fendi and loaded. Gucci and Ferraris and I can't even say it. Amiris. I mean, Versace's. It's like, this guy's in it all. Bro.
I've got to break the news here, guys. I've got to break the news because we have people suggesting fights, and I feel like a dick just not pulling these comments up. So, Western Mass Climber, I think you're the second person to mention Gaethje here. I actually think they should make Arman fight Paddy. Meanwhile, Justin fights Ilia. I do love that fight. But as I said, folks, we have a bit of breaking news. That's right, folks. We have breaking news right now of sorts. Tom Aspinall, he may or may not have accidentally made a mistake in an interview, or while he knew cameras, or did not know cameras were rolling. He said, yeah, it's going to be a really big fight card. The co-main event is going to be Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett, which would explain why Dana White is so fucking pissed off that they invited Paddy Pimblett into the octagon to talk to Ilia Topuria when they're already in negotiations to get a fight scheduled for him to fight Justin Gaethje on this big upcoming card with Tommy Aspinall. So,
real quick, MMAnomaly, I think it's Dricus.
Or sorry, that's what I mean. Dricus Duplessis. Thank you for the correction there, my guy. See, it's just like me with the Assyrian correction, brother. This is why we're better together, my guy. It was Dricus Duplessis. So yeah, Dricus Duplessis accidentally leaked that the co-main event is going to be Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Man. Yeah, Western Mass Climber said, no fucking way that's the fight.
Hey, I don't...
Lazy Ben, thank you for the correction there as well in the chat, my guy.
Boy. Not a lazy response. He was on it. Yeah, man. So at WMC, I think you're right. I heard that might be false as well, only because I think Paddy finally came out. And seeing him slobbering on ice cream, seeing him say I'm 195, he's like, you think I'm fucking fighting in August? Like, hell no. And I believe that. It is... We're 8 weeks away, less than that. There's no way he's dropping the weight. There's no way.
I've seen the kid drop weight like that before, bro. I'll bet you a shot against that.
All right, let's do it. And I'm saying I am confident because that's Paddy saying, you think my fat ass is getting down there in August? Hell no. So, but hey, and if that is true, I will be happy either way. I will happily do a shot if I'm wrong. Let's go.
Lazy Bet said DDP was duped by a fan poster, was created by a fan account. I'm still betting on it. Western Mass Climber said no fucking way Justin takes the Paddy fight. He did say he's only fighting if he fights for a belt, but let's see. If they're not going to do a title eliminator, then they should just give it to Justin. I'm not mad at that, but like I just told my esteemed co-host here, if DP goes out there and just smashes Max Holloway in this trilogy match that they have coming up, I'm telling you right now, he's going to call out Ilia Topuria and ask to unify the undisputed belt with the BMF belt and be the first guy to do it. And I know Ilia will say yes to that over fighting Justin for just the title defense. Like, you will be the first actual belt holder in history to unify the BMF belts if you beat Dustin Poirier, if that is what takes place. And in my heart of hearts, that's what I see happening, guys. Now, with that being said, we got to jump into the three most exciting fights of the night, Nano. And I'm glad we've got some time for them. We have a flyweight bout between Brandon Royval and Joshua the Man Van, a.k.a. Joshua Quick Turnaround Van, a.k.a. Joshua Van down by the river. As John Anik says so beautifully. Man, oh man, oh, it's Nano. This fight was absolutely incredible. I think this might be one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life live. The crowd was absolutely eccentric. Everybody was on their feet. And, I mean, dude, I'm going to let you go first on this one.
Oh, I appreciate that, brother. I mean, and I told you right after I saw you, and as I'm sitting in Twin Peaks, still just in awe of what I was seeing. Instant classic is what I'm going to say here in short and sweet. I mean, they set the record for the most strikes, most significant strikes in any flyweight matchup ever. There's been championship fights, 25 minutes. They did in 15, okay? My takeaways watching it, like, boy, I loved how busy Brandon Royval was. And, you know, I know he's unorthodox, kind of like a Dricus du Plessis, may not be by the book, but he's so gosh darn busy, and he's just trying to hurt you that it typically works. But, man, I mean, I don't think I've seen a more patient and just well-executed striking game plan than I've seen from Joshua Van. I mean, dude was in the pocket. I mean, some of the best range distance I've ever seen. It was almost Conor-esque. I mean, dude is getting the nose, like his nose grazed. I mean, we're talking about somebody that threw the most strikes that we've ever seen ever in the UFC, and he sat in the pocket and did not move. I mean, maybe head off the center line, but his distance management was so effing good.
His opponent actually threw 150 more strikes.
Yeah. And
which is
he
wild.
sat there and, I mean, obviously got hit from time to time, but he was so slick. I mean, his spacing, it's everything. Like his distance management, he knew exactly where he had to be. Did not show any fear. Was so calm the entire time. And then from pillar to post would just pick his shots. And, you know, Brandon would hit him with a 3 to 5 to 7 punch combo, maybe some kicks as well. Fantastic shit. And then Josh would just step off the center line and smack him in the mouth with a 1-2. And I mean, everyone in Twin Peaks was reacting. Everybody in the crowd was reacting. Brandon was getting beaten, bloodied, bruised. It's just like, and at that point, I'm like, fuck, man. I want Brandon to win. I'm going for Brandon. Our parlay, 1,000 or, well, I'll say 200 units here, y'all, is on the line. And I mean, similar to Ilia, man, Joshua was just undeniable. And they had their center of the octagon moment. He dropped him in the third round. I mean, if that's not a buzzer beater to win a fight, I don't know what else is. So not only did we get 15 minutes of some of the best, most active violence that we've ever seen, but then you get the photo finish at the end to really validate it. And on top of that, this is like Rocky versus Apollo 1. This is storybook shit. Guys fought 6 times this past year, just fought a couple weeks ago, told Joe I have a broken toe, it hurts, I felt it, and still put on the baddest performance we've ever seen. Dude's a dog. Dude's a stud. I don't know what else to say. Where's he from? Bergemies? I want to make sure I represent him well. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Burmese. I apologize. This Burmesian is a problem. And he's so cool. And Alexandre Pantoja did say that is going to be his toughest challenge. So, wow. Just wow. What a fucking welcome party for Joshua Van. I'm gutted for my boy Brandon Royval. He accepted the fight, didn't need to, left it all out there. But you make one mistake in the 14th minute and 50 seconds. You see him get up saying, fuck, suck again. Hey, man, it's a close one. I wish I would have game of inches again because WMC is gonna call me out, but it was a close one. Tell the people how you feel, brother. I mean, and hey, you got the stage, and we got nothing but time. This was one that we need to unpack. One of the best ever. And do you disagree?
Yeah, I definitely won't disagree with you, my guy. Yeah, my guy, my homie, Big Ron, sitting next to me. You can actually hear him. I wish I would have uploaded the video in here before the show so that way I could play it here. But you can literally hear him say in the video, As soon as he gets the drop, he goes, fuck, he just lost that fight in the last 7 seconds, man. It's tough. And the biggest thing for me that stood out is, that first round was a van round. He's a quick starter. Royval's a notably slow starter, so I knew that was probably going to be the case. I figured he'd drop the first round, win the next 2. And he did just that up until that last 7 seconds of that final round. He won the second round, in my opinion. He was winning the third round, and then about a minute 30, minute 40 left. Actually, no, maybe later than that, like a minute 10 left. He realized the oblique kick. And I don't know if he throws that in sparring because there's no decent and respectful way to throw that on a sparring partner that you like. You're trying to injure someone with those oblique kicks. I always talk at them, again, ad nauseum. Like, you've heard me talk shit about these kicks. They're injury kicks. You're trying to blow the guy's knee out. So, yeah, man. He discovered the oblique kick, and as soon as the one landed, he just started blasting it. As soon as Royval would come in with a jab or a cross, he would just throw the oblique kick. As soon as he shows him throwing anything. He dropped him like 4 times with that oblique kick. Knocked his feet out from underneath him, and then boom, catches him with a quick, crispy hand, which Herb Dean was happy enough to jump right in front of my camera angle for. But I digress. He drops him pretty hard in that last 7 seconds, and only knocked out of the fight. Royval struck him 216 to 209, 215 to 204 on significant strikes. He was winning the fight, man. But this is, it's not only a game of inches, Nano, it's a game of seconds. And I'll tell you, to add on to that game of inches quote that you gave earlier, which, again, very eloquent quote and very applicable. I'll tell you, this is the reason that I love this sport. Maybe it's the reason you love this sport so much, too. Because I know we also enjoy some of the big 5 sports. But I think what sets UFC apart, or MMA in general apart, is this. If you're watching soccer, if you're watching football, if you're watching hockey, if a hockey team is down 4-0 and there's fucking 3 minutes left, they're done. That game is over effectively. If a football team is down 2 touchdowns and there's 2 minutes left, that team is essentially done. They're cooked. If a fighter has dominated 24 minutes and 50 seconds of a fight, that is still a fight, bro. There's 10 seconds left. I can still knock your fucking socks off. I love that. That to me gets me fired the hell up, bro. It lets me know that, like, no matter how long a fight goes, no matter how dominant a fighter is, Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman, boom, head kick dead is always an option. Overhand right is always an option. Me knocking you out is always an option. I'll take it back further. Someone a lot of people don't like to talk about, War Machine, right? He had a lot of bad allegations, and I get it. He's not a great guy. But hey, one of the craziest comebacks in tough history in the finale against J-Rock. They didn't like each other. J-Rock kept hitting him with these fucking slicing elbows to the top of his head. I remember it was gushing blood worse than I've ever seen in my life in a UFC fight. J-Rock was drenched in this man's blood. And then he gets up from a takedown after getting slopped in the head again. And that third round, stands up, one-shots him. I remember J-Rock waking up and asking the ref what happened. And the ref said, "You got knocked out." And he screams, "What? I'm covered in his blood." That is why I love this sport. You just dominated a man for fucking 95% of a fight. Oh, and you lost. You've always got a shot up until the moment you're out of this fucking fight. You're still in it. I love this sport for that reason, man. And Joshua Van proved he's a guy, bro. The issue is he's a guy that now put himself on a trajectory in 1 year time span on this quick run that he's formulated. He's a guy that now has to fight for the belt. He's a guy that has to fight the guy that fought right after him and just completely deflated the room with how dominant he was over KKF, man. He's a guy that's going to have to go out there and lose and get sharper again because there's no chance he beats Alexandre Pantoja. I don't care how much of a Josh fan you are. Like, Pantoja is one of those guys that just is disrespected as a champ, should be very high up on the pound-for-pound list. He seems unbeatable at this point in time. And that brings us into the next fight, Nano, because I don't know if you have another name on the tip of your tongue.
No, man. I mean, it feels like that's pretty much set up. The stars aligned. I mean, it all happened. We saw it. Who am I to go against what? I mean, it's unprecedented, but hey, feels right. So I'm not going to say no to that. But I do think stylistically, Josh was going to be in for a big one because we're about to talk about him, but he is building his legacy as one of the best ever. So we shall see.
He really is, man. He really is. And shout out Lane real quick, bringing the pain as always. I finally got on the right side of betting Van. What a freaking fight. Absolutely, Lane. Gonna see a lot of great things from Van. Only 23 years old is crazy. Man.
Don't make sense. He'd be the second youngest champ behind John Jones. Crazy word.
Will Van beat Pantyhose? Not a chance, bro. Sorry. I love Van, but I just don't think so. We've seen crazier things, though, man. We've seen crazier things. Jorge Masvidal still somehow has a win over Ben Askren. So with that being said, we move on into the flyweight division, or rather stay in the flyweight division and move into the co-main event of the evening for a bout between Alexandre Pantoja and Kai Kara-France. My goodness, my gracious me, this felt like one-way traffic from the very start. As soon as the fight started, Alexandre Pantoja starts landing these hard leg kicks that instantaneously just left a bright welt on the leg of Kai Kara-France. Took away the footwork of him, and once you take away the footwork of somebody that's got quick hands, you're essentially taking away a lot of the quickness and power in those hands. He effectively shut down his weapons early and then kept doing that often. Landed 3 of 6 takedowns, dominated on the control time, and then when push came to shove, I mean, the man just made it one-way traffic on the top too. He had to get that submission. He had to get this done inside the distance. He had to make it look even better than the last time they fought all those years ago. And he gets it done via rear naked choke. His second rear naked choke in a row, folks. And I mean, this is what, his 6th one in the UFC, 7th one in the UFC? Come on. Nasty. By the way, that's how he beat Brandon Moreno to get the season finale against Kai Kara-France. Fucking rear naked choke. Do not give up your back against Pantoja. It is the end times if you do. Nano, what stood out to you about this fight? What surprised you about this fight? Because I got to be honest with you, when I call a spade, brother, not a lot surprised me here.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the fight goes, I felt like that was probably how it was going to go. I think you always want to, and you do the face there, because that was my big takeaways. I love Kara-France and his aura and the way he mean mugs, and I mean, you know, the haka, the face, everything about him. Like I love everything he does, man. It just, you know, it's just, it felt the same when we're in the Mighty Mouse era. I think we're just in the Pantoja era, and he's you know, no glitz, no glamour. I think he's starting to have an edge to him. He's starting to feel a little bit more of that disrespect, and I think he's kind of fed up with the pound for pound rankings. But hey, he made a case. Unfortunately, didn't get what he asked for. I mean, I think he moved up a couple spots, but you know, these little guys, these, you know, fly guys, they don't get enough credit that they deserve, man. I got to meet Alexandre. He was super nice, super humbling. He gave me his stare down look as well. Scared the bejeebers out of me. And I think this is one of those outings. You just continue to solidify his legacy. And what I do appreciate about him, and I think, and I was wrong. I thought he was going to come out there and finally ask for Marab and try to go for the double champ status. But I think I actually appreciate that he's not really going for what's in vogue. I think he is okay with stacking up title defenses. Long way to go to catch Mighty Mouse, or even the likes of a Usman or, you know, John Jones, obviously. Not sure where he sits currently, but I think that's his 4th one. He's already cleared out the top 10. So I guess it makes sense why you get out of the top 10, who's now number 1, a Joshua Van, the new shiny toy. Stylistically, it don't matter. Alexandre's going to go out there. He's going to take out Joshua's legs. He's going to chop the tree. He's going to rip the body. And then he's just to take him down and dominate him. It's that simple. I think Joshua's great. I think he will be patient. I think he'll have his moments, but that's all it'll be. You know, with just I was going to say dominance, but I want to be respectful. I mean, Alexandre says he's that good. There's just no other way around it. He could do everything. I mean, did you see the ribs of Kai Kara-France? Did you see the behind his left leg when he chopped his leg? I mean, everything Alexandre does, it's with purpose, and it hurts. You see it. I mean, it's visible. Like, you could see the footprints in the freaking rib cage.
You could see it on his opponent's face.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, how bad you got to get in? That's got to hurt. And then he had him face down, passed out, rolls him off, and just walks away. I mean, one of the sickest photos I've seen in a while too. Yeah, man, it's his time. It is the Pantoja era. I appreciate that he wants to just solidify himself in this division. and he's going to do it against the new up and comer, Joshua Van. That's it. It's written in stone. Take it to the bank. It's going to happen. And I'm excited as all get out to watch that one. And lastly, I'm a big fan. I love Pantoja, or Pantyhose, as a Western Mass Climber mentioned. Love that, brother. Man, good stuff. Shout out the champ. And still.
Man. This guy's a bad man. And just as bad of a man as he is at flyweight, I think it's safe to say Ilia Topuria is at featherweight and lightweight, which brings us into the main event of the evening, folks. We have made our way here.
It's time
For this lightweight bout between Ilia Topuria coming in against Charlie Olives. Charles Oliveira, a wounded lion is still a lion, but on Saturday, that man was a sleeping lion. Holy smokes, what a fight. Nano, kick us off.
Man, that was something, wasn't it? We had two of the baddest mofos here. The main event, the main reason why we were there, Ilia Topuria going up a weight division to fight everyone's favorite fighter, your dad's favorite fighter, your older brother's favorite fighter, one of my favorite fighters, and Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira. Ooh, boy. I did not know this before, and I wish I would have tried to dig into more of Ilia's interviews, things like that. Full transparency, we're International Fight Week, we're in Vegas. I don't have a lot of time to sit around and podcast it out like I'm at home doing my chores and such. But I saw it after, and Ilia and his entire team knew exactly what was going to happen. Gonna get the finish within 3 minutes. Gonna get the first round knockout. Ilia did mention on the press conference, and I told y'all, I felt it. And actually, he went on Ariel, said the same thing, and Ariel said, "You say that like I say I'm going to get a coffee, like just so matter of fact, like the sky is blue. I'm gonna fuck him up." I mean, that shit is crazy. And now going into the X's and O's real quick, bear with me. This guy said the reason why he's going to win and why it's not going to take much time is because he doesn't have to cut distance. Does not have to cut off distance with Charles. Charles is going to walk into him. The only reason why it took Ilia so long, and these are his words, I'm paraphrasing here, I'm not blowing smoke. Ilia said, "What takes me so long to finish my opponents is how long it takes me to close distance. As soon as I close distance, they cannot stand with my punches. They drop. They don't survive. I will go out there. Charles is going to get in my face. He's going to break the barrier, and I will place a chin." And he said it will explode. Was that an explosion if I've ever seen one? I mean, yeah, it's dead in his tracks. And half of that too, y'all, for if you know, you know. But why I think it was so vicious is he got it's all in the setup. You see him reset. He goes in the center, jab to the body, resets, jab to the head, lands, boom. Now he has his marker. As soon as Charles tries to come in, because he's got hit twice, he's going to want to respond, breaks the void. And Ilia, I mean, I'm going to kind of turn to the side here, but like the way he loaded up in the freeze frame, perfect balance, perfectly turned hips, not overextended. And that's really it does, right? You're a small, compact. I mean, the Tysons of the world, these guys that are able to generate a lot of power like that, because they're like this tightly wound ball that's just able to slingshot into their opponent. And that's all she wrote, right? I mean, it's I'm in awe, my brother. Like, this is one of the baddest dudes I think we've ever seen. And they keep making the comparisons to Conor, which I appreciate, because just like age, the finishes, like the still of Ilia beating hammer fisting Charles, same as Conor McGregor beating Aldo, like the tats, the aura, the capturing of the world,
the confidence,
superstar, the confidence, right? And he said too, he's like, I go back and I'm like, man, I do sound cocky. He's like, but what are you doing? I know what I'm saying. I'm doing what I'm saying. It's not like I'm lying. I'm just telling you, I'm gonna go beat him.
How about his wife? How about his wife? Or his, at the time, girlfriend, like a few years ago on the Helwani Show, the first time he did a Helwani Show live, they're on camera and she's talking trash instead of him because he's being respectful about Max Holloway. And it's like, he's never been finished, this, that, and the other. And she was like, to me, it doesn't matter. Like, if Herb Dean doesn't do his job and let somebody die out there, it's not going to be him.
Yeah,
That's
she was,
ice cold, bro.
she was like, I was hoping he would show mercy. It's like, but the ref didn't let him show mercy. He had to do it. Yeah, I mean, listen, that is badass, right? I mean, it's everything he does. It's class. It's professional. I mean, he looks the part. He dresses the part. He speaks the part. His home. I mean, everything. He's fully committed. He is the epitome of a mixed martial artist. And I think when it's all said and done, you're not gonna want to hear this. I think he beats Islam. I think he beats JDM. I think he's that.
No chance he beats
good.
Islam.
I think he's that fucking good, dude.
No chance he beats Islam. I think Dustin still has a chance against him.
Islam
grapples him.
Cannot take that power.
And people
sure.
forget we saw Ilia get dropped by Jai Herbert.
Fair, but that was a long time ago. And what
Ilia
I will say
dropped
is,
Charles like very badly too.
I mean, dude, listen, like
with boxing.
Ilia is just too much, and we saw the grappling exchanges. We saw how Charles
Islam
tried to get him into the clinch, and Ilia shrugged him off. Charles did what he had to do, tripped him. Ilia still ended up on top. He almost crucifixed
Islam did the same
him.
thing to him though, and
He
Islam
almost
also dropped him
crucifixed-
with a jab.
Bro, he almost crucifixed Charles. He was fucking
Fair.
close to crucifixing him.
Fair.
Who does that?
I would
does that?
Again, bro. I would put money on Islam, and I pray.
And I'll hedge it with Ilia. I will hedge it with Ilia.
Pray Ilia keeps wrecking people because then they'll give me plus odds on Islam for the last time ever.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, maybe. I think they came out the odds. I think Islam was still favored. But
He's still favored right now, but
yeah. But if he goes out there,
people are going to start betting on him, especially after that kind of performance, man. And jumping into the chat real quick, Miss Mary says Sav's my favorite fighter, or Sav's favorite fighter. Sorry, Sav's favorite fighter. Yeah, that was sad.
I'm not Charles. Yeah, sorry, she was very sad.
Yeah. Sorry. She tried to drown Drew apparently at the Twin Peaks because he was wearing an Ilia shirt. Shout out Drew. Shout out. We'll have him on the show tomorrow. We'll have Sav on the show tomorrow and Miss Mary. We're going to basically do like an extended recap of the fights as well as just kind of our experience at International Fight Week, UFC X, going to the fights, going to Twin Peaks, going to the casinos, running into fighters, meeting Ariel Helwani and GC and the crew, all of the like of which. So yeah, man. I mean, you're right. This dude is special. He had as many people tuning in at 6 a.m. in Spain watching that fight as the usual viewership numbers for a typical Real Madrid game.
Yeah.
That's the most watched sports team in the world.
One of the largest teams. Yeah. Do the math.
Stardust Fire. Yo, I don't think Topuria could beat Islam. Me neither, bro. I trained with Islam a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away called San Jose, California.
Well, don't hey, we'll go up a couple comments. Show my boy Juice. Don't overlook it. There you go. One more.
What Ilia is doing is simply just mind blowing. Oh, you're talking about this one. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
come on.
Ilia
Yeah, there
beats
you go.
Islam and JDM. Volk basically beat Islam the first fight, and Ilia slept Volk. Brother,
I got you, Juice.
You think Volk beat Islam the first fight? I'm sorry, Juice. I can't fuck with that.
That's fair. Well, I mean, he was competitive. He was competitive with
it. It was a competitive fight, but then again, he went back home. He downloaded some more data. He took the fight a little bit more serious, and he killed that guy.
Yeah. No. And then Islam did knock out Volk.
No, I didn't try to skip you. I didn't see that comment. Man. I really that was. I wish I had the comedic timing of that, but.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, dude, Nano's the realest in the room at all times, brother. It's a fact. It's a fact. That's why we keep him around, man. That's why he's part of the fam.
Got to.
Yeah, dude, like this fight was perfect for Ilia. He made it look dominant. His opponent landed 10 strikes. He only needed 24 himself, 21 of which were considered significant. Walked onto an elbow from Charles. It was perfect. Stunted his head back, and then he ate it like a peanut butter jelly sandwich, kept moving forward. Or maybe he ate it like a taquito. I don't know what his preference is. Either way, he made it look tasty and just kept on moving, brother. And then, like you said, like the final kind of montage, the final sequence that ended the fight was picture perfect. He feinted the jab, which we've seen him do before, just feints the jab, and he stops like right here. So you can see my fist covering at least half of your vision. So you can barely even see what I'm doing here. And he throws it right in the middle. So that way it really is covering a lot of your peripherals here. So like, even if you've got this, it's blurry, you can't see. And then out of nowhere, boom, the right hand comes and the left hook comes right behind it. And it was, again, everything about it was just so perfectly timed. The placement on it was perfect. And I mean, he was down when the right cross landed. The left hook was just extra. It was just pennies for his luck. And then on top of that, he jumps on top of him with the hammer fists. None of those were necessary. The dude was out cold before the left hook even landed, let alone the follow-up shots on the ground. So is Ilia the face of the UFC right now? I think right now, yes. And I agree with you, Juice Man. The issue with that is they're probably looking to come out with UFC 6 soon. And there is the EA curse, right? It used to be known as the Madden curse. You can check me on this. Every time somebody's on there, their downfall starts. Ronda Rousey, John Jones, ×2, Gustafsson, Conor McGregor. The list goes on. The only one that it didn't touch was Khabib Nurmagomedov, and he retired. And he also technically wasn't the cover. He was DLC cover. So if Ilia is the face of the UFC, they're probably going to put him on the cover, and I don't think you want that as an Ilia fan, bro. EA curse, no! I'm telling you, bro, it's a real fucking thing, dog. I know what you're talking about, even the NFL players. That's what I'm saying, bro. It started off as the Madden curse, and since EA has got the rights, they've been cursing these fighters left and right, dog.
Literally all the back to the Ronda Rousey days. Conor,
that's what I'm saying.
Izzy, Masvidal.
Masvidal, I forgot about those two.
Yeah.
Like John Jones was on there twice, and both of those times within a year is when he got fucked up, like with the law. Like it's just bad news bears, bro. If EA Sports hit me up and was like, "Hey, we love your show. We want you to be on the cover of EA Sports UFC," I'd be like, "Nah, I'm good, thanks." Because I'm gonna walk down the stairs and fucking rip my ACL tomorrow or some shit. Like that's how it works. I don't want that. I can't have that on my conscience.
The Breakfast Club. Hey, there you go. I like that.
Matua said Ilia ain't promoted enough. Ilia needs to be on the Spanish-speaking media that are in the U.S. I completely agree. Ilia needs to be on shows like The Breakfast Club. Yeah, why not? Bro, it's no coincidence either. Like they have a track record. They do, bro. I'm telling you, it's wild. It's because EA is an awful company, LOL, but I still like their games. Same. Yeah, they're slave drivers when it comes to their employees. I've known people that have worked there, and I've heard stories from people that have worked there as well, just in general. And apparently not the business. So
it's also a necessary evil. It feels like every year, Madden, I feel like somehow is getting worse. I don't know how that happens, but I mean, it is what it is. EA Sports always in the game. Ilia that's a fair point. I mean, I guess not. I don't see him a ton out here, but dude, he is. I mean, his video is already over 9 million. The knockout.
He's a global superstar.
So, and that's more than UFC Max Holloway versus Gaethje's knockout. So, like, dude, in a couple days, 9 million. He's already at like 11 million followers on Instagram. I mean, dude is bona fide rare air. And all I want to say is, regardless of who he fights, his walkout song I didn't know was Antonio Banderas.
Yeah,
aka
it's
Toro.
Desperado.
So, yep. Ay, 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 mi amor. Ay, mi morena de mi corazón. Let's go, baby.
Brother.
I'm a fan. He got me.
Let's go.
She.
My God. Yeah. There were so many people singing it in the stadium. It was wild.
Oh,
and
dude, I bet.
If you haven't seen, like, you've seen that movie, I'm assuming. It's such
yeah, of course. Great movie.
It's
Great movie.
classic. So Juice Man said, I feel like there can't be no getting any better anymore as far as the sports games. Like, how much better can it get? Or am I wrong? Like graphics too. Like, okay, so graphics should be able to get better just because we've completely seen an overhauling of Xbox and PlayStation. Like I've been Team Xbox. I've also got the PS5 in my entertainment center. I've played it maybe 7 times, but I do have it. I got it for Spider-Man. But with these games that are coming out, like, we have brand new processors that are like state of the art. We have brand new graphics cards and things like that. And again, like with what we're seeing done with motion capture and stuff like that, I feel like the sky is the limit. It's only a matter of maybe like 10 years before we're playing video games that looks like we're watching a real UFC fight, in my humble opinion. Maybe slightly blockiness with the way the movements and momentum is compared to a real fight. But even then, I feel like Undisputed 3 had really great ragdoll graphics that worked really well. And if you implement some of those kind of gameplay mechanics with the graphics that we have now and the slight upgrades that we can get across a new game that's truly built for the UFC or for the Xbox Series X, I think we're barely tapping into the foundation, man.
On a boy. You're on it, brother. I'm definitely not as knowledgeable in this realm, so I'm just gonna go ahead and default smile and wave to my boy. Good shit.
I'm a big nerd, man. I'm definitely a big nerd. It's why I don't wear the glasses. They only make me look even more nerdy on the stream. With that being said, folks, look, if you're new here, if you're old here, anywhere in between, we appreciate each and every one of you all for tuning in and listening to us gab about this incredible card that probably will go down as one of the best of the year, if not the best of the year. And do us a huge favor if you haven't already. Like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications. And then once the stream finishes, if you could do us a huge favor and just leave a comment on the actual video, not one of the live comments, right? Makes a big difference. We would really appreciate it. We appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, if you do none of the above, nothing we just asked you to do these next two things, folks. We ask that you keep on going, and we ask that you keep on growing. And we will see you all next time.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.